Is the Honorable Martha McSally, a member of Congress representing Arizona's 2nd District.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate the opportunity, Chairman McClintock and Ranking Member Hanabusa, to be able to testify today before your subcommittee on my bill, H.R. 1547, the Udall Park Land Exchange Completion Act. The Udall Park Land Exchange Completion Act resolves a historic land exchange agreement between the City of Tucson and the Bureau of Land Management at Udall Park, which is a city-owned regional park in northeastern Tucson. In 1989, 28 years ago, the City of Tucson and BLM entered into an agreement to exchange 297 acres of land that the city owned, which is adjacent to now Saguaro National Park, for 173 acres of BLM land in northeast Tucson, which is now known as Udall Park. This agreement specifically outlined that the terms and conditions of this land conveyance would include a legislative fix to remove any and all encumbrances on Udall Park. Well, unfortunately, this legislation never happened 28 years ago due to changes in staff in BLM and the city and in the congressional offices that were working on it. But for 28 years, the city has been operating this park unencumbered. However, we now realize, because recently the issue has come to a head over a dispute with BLM about a small commercial lease that's located on Udall Park. So then the city, no kidding, went back and researched it and discovered, like, oh, this legislative fix that was promised in the agreement 28 years ago actually never happened. And at this time, I would like to insert in the record a May 2017 letter from Dean Bibles, the Arizona State BLM director from 1982 to 1989, attesting to the fact that the exchange occurred and BLM agreed to work with the city to lift the reverter.
Without objection.
Federal red tape should not stand in the way of communities like mine developing local parks. This is common sense. Udall Park is a beautiful place for our Southern Arizona community to gather, but this long-standing land dispute has prevented the City of Tucson from improving the park and growing it to its full potential for too long. It's time to finally take action. I want to point out the circumstances regarding the removal of this encumbrance are really unlike any other request being considered by the BLM or in Congress, since BLM was actually compensated already for the value of the land in 1989 when the exchange agreement was executed. My legislation would simply formally complete the long overdue agreement on land that has already been exchanged at a fair market value. The act directs the conveyance of the federal revisionary interest in Udall Park to the city as the parties intended 28 years ago when the actual exchange was made. In closing, I just want to say thanks, Chairman McClintock, for the opportunity to testify before the Subcommittee of Federal Lands today. I look forward to seeing this issue through and ensuring that this land transfer is finally completed. Thank you.
Thank you.